come lick with your boy, come late. Come and blow some trees with your boy, let's late. We can watch a flick if you're bored, come late. We can joyride and explore late. Baby, come lick with your boy, come late. Come and blow some trees with your boy, let's late. We can watch a flick if you're bored, come late. We can joyride and explore.
You're now tuned into Linked Up with Lux.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Lux and welcome back. Today I wanted to get into something that's been sitting heavy on my mind, and honestly, it's probably going to turn into a bit of a rant. I want to talk about who you are actually dating, because lately it feels like people aren't dating for themselves anymore. I know, that's crazy. It's like they're dating for a committee. They're dating for their friends. They're dating for their family. They're dating for their Instagram followers. You know, it's like we've became so obsessed with like the optics of our lives that we started letting outside opinions literally misconstrue our own perception of people we care about. It's like, how many times have you been genuinely happy with somebody, like actually vibing, you're feeling good, and the second you think about introducing them to your circle, you start nitpicking, like, you know, you start seeing them through like someone else's eyes. It's like you are not looking at them anymore, you're looking at how they'll reflect on you, and honestly, it's a bit exhausting. We've turned dating into a PR campaign. We look for a partner who fits the aesthetic. Maybe they have the right job, or maybe they look a certain way, or they have, you know, the cool factor, air quote. But it's like, here's the reality check. You aren't dating a LinkedIn profile. You're dating a human being. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. If you're sitting there with someone who makes you laugh, who treats you with respect, who makes you feel safe, but you're ashamed of them because they don't meet some arbitrary social standard, it's like you're the one that's losing, you know? Like, I see people dump high quality partners all the time because they're worried about the cringe. They're worried about someone might say, oh, that's who they're with? So they trade a genuine connection for a trophy that they don't even like talking to. It's like, you're basically choosing to be miserable in public just so you can look successful, which is mind-blowing. It's just like you're doing that to look successful to people who aren't even paying your bills. So why does their vote count more than your own happiness? That's insane. Now, let's talk about the biggest relationship killer of our generation, which we all know is, drumroll please, the group chat. You know, the freaking group chat. So we all like to vent, you know, we all like to talk, we all like to have our social circle and our friends' opinions on what do you think about this, or what do you think about that. But when you think about it, it does more harm than good when you really think about it, you know, because there's a very fine line between seeking support and tainting the dynamic. You know, when you run to your friends every single time your partner breathes the wrong way, you're feeding them a highlight reel of the worst parts of the relationship, you know, every time. Oh my God, they did this. Oh my God, we were going through this. Oh my God, he said this. It's just like you're literally highlighting the worst of the worst. So that's clearly what they're going to bank their opinion based on. It's like, think about it. You and your partner have a fight. It's messy. You're mad. You text the girls or the guys and you talk trash, you know, about your partner. And an hour later, you and your partner make up. You moved on. You were cuddled up on the couch, but your friends, they haven't moved on. They still have that poison in their heads. And that's why I hate it when people get this insight of me based on the worst highlights, if you will, and then they have this opinion about me when we never, for my situations that I'm dwelling on right now, we never spoke. You know what I'm saying? We've never had a conversation, but they're running around acting like they know me. Oh, girl, if it was me, ooh, if it was me, like, you don't even know me at all. And half the things that I've done for your friend, you never had a man do for you at all, period. Like, so you can't even relate. You don't even qualify to be in a conversation. Like, I'm surprised that she even has you as her friend, you know, because where do you come from? But anyways, when you do that, you're essentially inviting 5 different people to be a third wheel in your bedroom. You know, you're allowing their bias, you know, and their own past traumas and their opinions to seep into your relationship. You know, it's like suddenly you aren't reacting to what your partner did. You're reacting to what your friends said about what your partner did. You know, you've lost the internal compass, which is wild. You've allowed the outside noise to drown out the actual truth of the situation, and that is very dangerous. It's like you really got to ask yourself, who am I really dating? Because it's like at 2 a.m. when you're sick or you're stressed or you're just trying to figure out your life, your audience is not there. Your friends aren't the ones who have to build a life with this person. So it's like when you let someone else's opinion dictate who you choose, you're basically saying you don't trust yourself. You're saying that your own joy isn't valid unless it's peer reviewed. That is a lonely way to live. We got to stop dating for the shout out and start dating for the support. If you like them, you like them. If they make your life better, they belong there, period. Stop looking for the flaws that, you think other people will see. If you keep looking at your partner, through the lens of a critic, you're always going to have a negative opinion. You're going to miss the person that's right in front of you. So it's like the bottom line is don't let the world talk you out of something that makes you happy. People are always going to have something to say. That's just simple human nature. I mean, let's be real. But their opinion is a reflection of them, not your relationship. Keep your private moments private. Protect your peace. And for the love of everything, stop asking for a second opinion on your own heart. If you are happy, stay happy. Don't let the noise ruin the music, because it's so easy to get caught up and worry about, oh, well, this person said this and this person said that. But also, back to what I was saying about how when you make up with your partner, everything is fine once you guys made up. They still see the negative side, that negative highlight that I referenced, so that's all they go off of. Some people, they're afraid to go back to their own friends, their own family, and say, I genuinely, still like this person, despite what we just went through, because they're embarrassed. Because now you're worried about what your family's going to say, what your friends are going to say. What do you mean you got back with him? You just said that you guys fell out. Whole time, it was a misunderstanding. He bought you flowers. It was you, honestly, maybe. Maybe you just had a lot going on, so you overreacted, so you overshared. But you don't want to run back and tell your friends, girl, we're fine. Because they're going to judge you. They might call you stupid. They might be like, girl, you was saying that he was this woo wah, and you're just like, yeah, I did say that. I was a little upset. Honestly, we were both just hungry. We both needed a Snicker bar. We were at, you got to be careful. You definitely have to be careful. And, there's some women that literally will have no shame in their game. Or guys, I'm not trying to make this one-sided, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm back with him. Okay. And, but some people, they will allow their relationship to literally crumble because of things that they've shared to the outside, because they're afraid of judgment. They will let their relationship literally just disappear and fade away, only because when they did vent to their friends, it was during a heightened moment, and it allowed that to literally kind of open up the door for negative opinions. Like me personally, my next relationship, I want to be low key. I want to be private. As long as we both respect each other, I want to be able to communicate, because sometimes just thinking back to past situations, you always wonder, like, how did we get here? Why did you allow outside opinions to taint what we had going on? Why couldn't we communicate? And, if you're anything like me, I'm low key all the way around. I'm not going to say, oh, hey, don't go and, seek advice about a relationship. It's nothing wrong with being like, hey, we're going through this, but you're keeping it vague. You don't have to sit there and give the whole breakdown and be like, oh, well, and then this and that and this and that, because whatever you're going to get from the outside whatever their opinion is probably going to be way more severe than the actual situation, you know, over if we just sat down and was like, okay, I did this. I understand you don't like this. You communicated that. I respect that. Or I did this because X, Y, and Z. Or I did this because I didn't think you would feel X, Y, and Z. You know, communication. Why do we assume that people know what's on our mind? Why we can't assume what upsets people? We can't assume, you know, people's boundaries. We can't assume what makes them happy. We can't assume what makes them sad. And a lot of times we do assume. And that's why we get into these situations where you got people getting outside opinions because we're just not getting through to each other. You have to be able to communicate. So with that being said, if you like somebody, you go pursue them and you worry about yourself and them and your dynamic and how they make you feel, because nothing else matters. People be so busy trying to compete and, oh, I need this. I need a person like this. I need a person like this. And it's so bad for some people that they will literally settle for less and be disrespected in the process. Just to say, oh, I got someone who looks like this, but they treat them like crap. Or, ooh, I got somebody that's like this, but they don't communicate effectively, but they just accept it because of their physical, you know, assets. You know, it's just like, it's insane. But love yourself, love your partner, love your family. I'm sending everybody much love. I know life is a little difficult. It's been a little roller coaster, but we still here. So be grateful. It's your boy Lux. I'm out.